And we're back. Apparently not even my internet was able to tolerate all of this madness here. But as I was saying, it's really interesting story that this game tells when it comes to Eddie, and as much as it wasn't as detailed as Angela's, I feel like Eddie got fewer cutscenes and didn't appear as many times, but still the developers were able to create this conflict within the players, or at least when it comes to my experience, whether or not to fight him or try to talk him out of all of this madness. And indeed the grave was right. By the end of the game, Eddie is dead. What I did not expect, he's dead because of James. He was killed by James, and now James has to live with that, even if this was a form of self-defense, or at least I would say it was. But now moving on, let's see if we can find anything in this. Room. I'm still not sure if these are supposed to be lamps in the floor or the ceiling, but that seems like the ceilings, and these slabs of meat are hanging. So maybe they are just different lamps and fans in the floor to have the cooling. Well, I have to admit I'm not really finding anything that could help me. I did find a few bullets, but to be honest, that wasn't much. And I certainly did not expect a boss fight just after walking through that door. I thought when Eddie said that we will learn how James and him are not so different, he meant that he would show us something, not that we would start shooting at each other. Really nice how there is a lamp above the exit door. And indeed, I did not have time to do this during the fight, even though, who knows, maybe there is a way to get out. I wouldn't be that surprised. Now let's look around. We are in dire need of resources. And the shortcut leading back to where? Excuse me? Where the heck am I? Well, we are back in Silent Hill, or more specifically, outside. near the lake. Well, maybe it sounds strange, but I am almost happy to see this eerie fog once again. And I get to save, even though I'm not really sure if it's a good idea to save after such a horrendous boss fight. But let's hope that we will be able to get through the rest with what little we have left. And actually, speaking of the fog, I wanted to talk about it before. A few weeks ago, I think it was, that I read a rather intriguing article about game development and how technical limitations sometimes lead to features. And one such example was Silent Hill. Oh, would you look at that? A photo. Road trip! Is that a lighthouse and waves? I'm really not sure. 24! So, as it turns out, the original Silent Hill game was released on the PlayStation 1. And it was a rather ambitious project, having a somewhat large town appear in a game in which the player can move somewhat freely. And it came with quite the challenge for the developers, because the original PlayStation had a technical limitation of how many polygons can be displayed on the screen at once. And maybe if the game was using fixed cameras like Resident Evil with pre-rendered backgrounds, they could have easily fixed that problem, making sure that the items, the buildings that we get to see at once, they have few enough polygons so the PlayStation can show them and render them all. However, the original Silent Hill had a somewhat free camera following the character. And with that, it's really difficult to make sure that at any given moment the player sees only a limited number of polygons. And so the developers, thinking about how to fix this problem, they came up with a solution. And that was the fog, which is rather brilliant, because by introducing the fog, they could lower the distance that is visible to the player and that the PlayStation has to render. So anything far away wouldn't need to be rendered at all. And actually they use this to their advantage quite a lot, because it allowed them to remove entire objects in some cases because they wouldn't be visible and they weren't important to begin with, but because of the free camera they had to add them in, for example the roofs of certain buildings, so they could limit what the player could see and focus all of the resources that they had on the important details, what is right in front of the player character and in its near surrounding. And why I absolutely love this idea is because they started with a limitation and they found a solution to it, but they did more than fix a problem. They found a way to turn the solution into a feature of the game. They turned a technical limitation into improvement, and that is really, really impressive. And what really shows that this wasn't a temporary fix is the fact that when Silent Hill 2 was released, the fog stayed. Even though Silent Hill 2 was released on the PlayStation 2, which was a much stronger console than its predecessor, the developers decided to keep the fog, which was originally a solution to a technical limitation of a bygone era. It wasn't present anymore. They didn't have to do it. But the fog became such an integral part of Silent Hill, of the franchise, even through just one game, that the developers kept it in the sequel and then in pretty much every Silent Hill game. Because the eerie, mysterious fog wasn't just a detail at that point. It was a character. It showed that lingering uncertainty. And really it was a visual representation of the danger lurking around. That no matter where you turned, you never knew what was coming for you. You could never feel truly safe in this town. And I feel like that shows just how brilliant this idea was. Even if the developers originally just thought of it as a quick fix for a technical difficulty. And sometimes, rather rarely, but it does happen that brilliant minds come up with such ideas. And that's why, to me, it's so important that these games, that these movies and books, they survive the passage of time. And so do their tales. So people who weren't even around when they originally were released, they can learn about them. They can see how wonderful they were. And that's also why I support remakes to a certain point. Remakes are always tricky because there is a fine line that the developers have to walk on. How to bring something up to modern expectations but not change it. And I feel like, as much as I haven't played the original Silent Hill 2, so honestly my opinion here is rather nonsensical, but I feel like just on its own this remake works wonderfully. And perhaps they changed things. I know a few, such as Maria's outfit or the character models, but the amount of disturbing content and difficult topics that this game brings up that are present in this remake show me that even if some things were changed or cut, it's still closely based on the original. Because nowadays games just don't dare to be this serious and this dark. They just don't. More often than not, horror games, if they want to become more extreme, they go more gory. It's really rare that they address such difficult topics and even show disturbing moments. And this game does that because the original did it too. And I feel like Konami and Bloober, they realized that if they try to make this game PG, if they try to make this game fit into the mold of horror games these days, there will be nothing left. Because you have James, you have the creatures, you have the shooting, the survival horror, but the stories of each character, they are deeply disturbing. They have some subjects that would be questionable by today's standards. And not because they are not true, but because media tries to shy away so much from the truth. Because all of the terrible things that are happening in the world are just not talked about. Because it's easier not to address them. And that's why even with the original game, I am so amazed that the developers dared to do so. And I feel like that was a different time to a certain degree when they could do such a thing, even though I still think this game stood out from the rest. But I think it was part of the reason why the original game became such a huge success, and why this remake was so well received, because it's real. As much as it is some fantastical horror, it has more heart than most of the realistic horror games of today. And there isn't a masked killer. There isn't a conspiracy or a murder case here. Just life. And life is full of terrible, terrible things. As much as it is filled with wonderful things. And this game dared to take a look at the more twisted side of the world. And I am absolutely amazed by what it managed to do. Because it's really not every day that a game like this is created. Not nowadays and not back in the day. And I honestly think that will not change in the near future. But maybe that is for the better. Because as much as for me those disclaimers in the beginning of the game are are a good sign, this game is not for everyone, and I respect that. As much as maybe this is the most mainstream psychological horror game that there is. But with that said, let's see and go what is out here. If we find Maria again. Oh, a boat. But there was that tale about the man who went to an island to where his beloved was banished. So, in a way, that is James and Mary? Now, I am aware that this is no Resident Evil 4, but I'm certainly hoping that there will not be a ginormous fish monster coming after us, because that's the last thing I need. Nice fade to white. Hold L2 to use the left pedal, hold R2 to use the right pedal, hold both to roll forwards. Oh, game, you know that if you give me a big open area, I will go around in circles to look for a secret. You knew it, and yet you did this to me. Okay. Turning around. I know that this is my first playthrough, and I should focus on the story and just let the game tell me what is happening, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't try to go against the flow every turn of the way. Now that is interesting. I went back and I was thrown forwards. Oh, welcome in, Nekio. And welcome in, Raiders. How was your stream? To those who might not know me, I am the Dreadist, a monster researching horror, and right now exploring, I think, Lake Toluca. But to be perfectly honest, I'm not even sure where I am anymore. Hello! What were you playing? Why isn't my shoutout comment working? Oops. What happened? Give me a moment, things are breaking. Stream was good, that's wonderful. I am happy that it was good. Was playing Tales of Arise. Oh. But I am happy to hear that it was fun. I am doing alright, having some trouble with my internet. It's as unstable as I am on a better day. But we're doing some decent progress here. Exploring the fog. Witnessed a lake of human body turned into water, not water. What? What kind of a horror game are you playing? You know, I was never interested in the Tales games, but I might need to check them out. Tell me more. Oh, got internet troubles too lately. That's wonderful. Not really, but I guess we can have internet troubles now together. Isn't that fun? But don't worry, the reds are on the case. And the cables as well. But as I was saying, thank you so much for the raid. If you need to raid and run, I more than understand. Please take care of yourself. Don't forget to eat and drink, maybe stand up and do some stretching. I understand how tiring a long stream can be. Tales of Arise are a horror game, but they looking like your average pony game. That's an interesting mix. But let me invite you to a cup of tea. Well, I will have to look into those games, apparently. And it also seems that there is nothing hidden on this lake, and our only option is following the light. Which is not necessarily a good sign. Are we dying? Are we dead already? I mean, I was close. Way too many times. And Pyramid Head did kill me already once. But let's move. Wait, where's the light? But it was right over the pesky light. Okay, let's turn. No, the other way around. Now, to be honest, Tales of just are not horror game, but they talk about some heavy topics. Oh, I see. Well, long RPG games have the chance of creating rather elaborate stories. I guess that's why so many people enjoy them. Anyhow, Miss Dready, I missed you too. And it's nice to see that you are streaming, and I hope you are doing wonderfully. Now let's try to catch that light. That water looks really nice. What will we find here? And we're somewhere. Yes, streaming this week a bit, and next week before I'm gone until end of June. Yes, I've seen your post about you taking a 2-week long break. I hope you will enjoy it greatly, and hopefully you will be back to streaming with so much energy after that. Apparently everything is breaking on me today. I'm not sure why. Now it's my model that is breaking. I've been struggling with a stiff neck, but apparently now I have a stiff back as well. Don't mind me. That water looks drinkable. That says it all. I think, yeah. Yeah, that I guess that's a good compliment. Alright, can we get back to moving, please? Yeah, wonderful. Need a massage? Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, probably lots of energy. Never tired or anything. Of course you're not. You are just full of youthful energy, right? Well, I'm sure you are. A king can never be tired for the sake of his subjects. Now, let's see what we have here. I am sure that we will find nothing disturbing here. Not at all. Do I like the detail that there is a life jacket there? Safety is important after all. Will we find a photo here? What if I'm the king of the tired people? Maybe I should be. Oh, well, you do need to represent your subjects, that's true. But I'm not sure if you ever clarified what you are the king of. Oh, come on, I can definitely step over that rope. I want to know what that is. Actually, those look like oil cans. And boats. And more boats. Haha! What's that? Lakeview Boat Rentals. Spend unforgettable moments on Toluca Lake. These voters will bring you... What? Peace! $15 for the day. $15 for a day of peace. Not a bad deal. But not in this economy. Is that a map? Collected Lakeview Hotel Garden map. But thank you, viewers, for the care package. Unfortunately, I cannot really drink while getting my nose booped. It's difficult with the mic here and your finger and all that, so I will just wait. Save. That's a good idea because, well, I have saved on the other side of the lake, but we will have to find a save point for that. But thank you for reminding me. I will certainly do once I get the chance. But for now, would you mind stopping? Thank you. Well, I've been here before. Is there anything else that I missed? Oh, and the lurk. Thank you for lurking. And thank you for the tea. Well, we have 3 staircases. One is blocked, and this feels like the most obvious one. It's also nice how the paint has worn away from the steps of people. So let's go here. Let's see what we can find. Because it says the hotel's garden, my suspicion is that we will also get to explore the hotel. But let's not jump into conclusions just yet. There has to be something here. I know it. Glasses. It's not a good idea to leave your glasses out like that, especially on a book. If it catches the rays of the sun, it might set it on fire. And thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. As you can see, I have my follow notifications set to anonymous, but I know who you are and I appreciate your support. Well, there's not much out here. I thought if I go around maybe I can find something, because there is a blockade there, but no, I cannot go around. Well, that's fine. Let's see what we have here. So this is the garden, and ooh, it's a big garden. We'll have plenty of exploring to do. I just hope that I will not open a door or gate that I shouldn't. I have done that before. Pretty nice garden. And interestingly, a garden in pristine condition. Not like the park that we've seen before in Silent Hill, which would suggest to me that someone is still taking care of this place. But this is closed as well. That's fine, let's move on. Wow! That is gorgeous!
This place hasn't changed at all in 3 years.
Glimmer of hope. Indeed. And based on what James just said, I think this was the hotel where he and Mary stayed at during their vacation. And indeed it is interesting because it's much friendlier looking than the rest of Silent Hill. Why do I think this statue will be important? As the cold draws near, they abandon their old nests to return in time. No, this is not the first time that we see the weather change for the better. It happened once before, and I feel like the state of our surroundings actually mirror how hopeful our situation is. Wow, I found a rotten apple! Speaking of hopeful, let's put that in our coat. Well, it's a jacket, actually. Alright, this is logged. Oh, what are you, fishy fishy? Lone One of the East, out of the water safety, now lost, out of breath. So it's a fish jumping out of water? Pretty nice statue, I have to say. We're not going that way, I see. I am trying to look for any item that I might be able to pick up. Who knows, maybe on a bench or the statues. We have many possibilities. Ooh. Oh-ho! But that's the fish statue, but not the same that we've seen before, because this one has a light bulb in its mouth. But how do I get there? Well, let's see. Maybe I can go around? Yeah, I don't think the rotten apple will do much. This section of the garden is closed for maintenance. Sorry for the inconvenience. I see. So I can only get a glimpse of that statue. Interesting. Let's see what we have here. Not much. Not a whole lot of things we can do. But this place is nonetheless rather beautiful. Yes, that is closed. My guess is that only the main door will be open, if any of them is. Yeah, that seems to be open. So we have a gate. And we have a logged area behind it where that fish statue is. And that is marked with an exclamation mark. And we also have this area to the east, which we cannot reach from here, but maybe from inside we will be able to. The map gives a slight spoiler, because you can see that the door on the left has the little zigzag line, meaning that it is completely and utterly closed and stuck that way. However, the door on the right is marked with a thick red line, meaning that it is locked but can be unlocked. Lakeview Hotel, welcome back. Well, thank you. Ooh, this is a pretty place, and I hope that is the map. Oh yes, it is.
Mary.
Waiting for you. 312. And this is on the 3rd floor, but we are on the 1st. And I have a feeling that we just got the 1st and the 2nd and the 3rd floor map. And by the looks of it, maybe a basement one as well. Hotel Garden. We already have that. Venus Tears map. Excuse me? Okay, this is the 1st floor. 2nd floor. 3rd floor. Oh, the basement is the Venus Tears. And this we already had. Interesting. Yes, it seems that for some odd reason the garden map is counted twice. Well, I guess we shall start at the bottom of things, and that would be the basement. Because what better place to start our investigation in a creepy abandoned hotel than the basement? Staff only. Don't worry, well, I'm no staff, but I'm also not really a visitor. You see, I haven't paid to be here, so... Is this breaking and entering? The door was open, so I didn't break anything. Just entered. I'm sure that's fine. Now let's see, what do we have here? Note to staff. Be sure to clean up the fireplace in the conference room. Cleaning staff memo number 1. Why do I think there will be more? Okay, that's simple enough. We have to go and check the fireplace, which is somewhere, and I think that James was ever so nice to actually mark it for us. It's there. That's a big question mark. Once again, on the 3rd floor. No trouble, we'll get there. Staff only. Sorry, I cannot get through that. It's impossible for me. Fire exit. Oh, that's always good to know where the fire exit is. Where is it? Elevator out of service. Well, of course it is. That's just my luck. Oh, it's dark in here. Well, there is that door, but... no, I could not move this cart out of the way. Though, look at all that toilet paper. Okay. I know, James, we are supposed to be exploring. Right. Well, that's about exploring, I guess. Well, 1 floor checked. Oh, let's check the second one. What is that? Oh, restrooms. Shared restrooms this time around. Ooh, electric hand dryers. Would you look at that? How modern. Anything in the toilets? I always find interesting things in toilets. Maybe in here. Nothing! Really? Okay, maybe up here? No. There's nothing here. I can't believe it. It's an empty toilet. No enemy, no item, no nothing. Lost and found. Let's be honest, we should go there. I feel pretty lost. Information room. Oh yes, a save point. Well, it took a bit of time, but here we are. Safe and sound. Well, as safe as one can be in Silent Hill. Receptionist memo. Nothing on the back. Mr. James Sunderland. Oh, it's addressed to us. Regarding the videotape you left in your room during your last stay, I'm glad to inform you that we have recovered the item and moved it to the employee section on the 1st floor. The tape is stored within the hotel safe to be returned to you at your earliest convenience. This is the tape that Maria actually mentioned. How we forgot about it and left it in our room. Alright, so it should be in the employees only area. Which key is that? Music box 312. Isn't 312 our room? Yes, it is. Alright. That was quick. Let's see what else is here. Oh. That's really nice. The placement of the save point. So even if you're just wandering around here, you can see it clearly. This is not the fireplace we are looking for. Handgun ammo, always useful. Oh, it's a bar. Ashtrays from a time when one could smoke a cigarette inside a bar and the restaurant. I love how the sign says staff only, but they were aware that that would not stop me, so they just blocked it with all kinds of items. You know what is rather strange about this place? Oh, key to hotel room 102. What is so strange about this place is how quiet it is. Not a soul around. No enemies. No one. Well, I guess we are getting into the lost and found, one way or another. You really didn't have to blockade it from the inside as well, but I guess you wanted to make sure. Oh, ammo! Let's see what kind of things people lose. Luggage, bags, a hat, pillow, shoes, boxes, a belt, a toolbox, interesting. A ladder, that's probably not lost and found, just something to reach the items on the shelves. A boot. I wasn't sure if there would be a body attached, to be honest. A guitar. Rugby ball. Suitcase. Darts board. Shoe. A teddy bear, rather similar to the one we've seen before. Oh, what's that? Remember that strange book you found earlier? Some very odd-looking man came in a few hours back, claimed it belonged to him. Honestly, I didn't feel like arguing. I wanted to be through with him as soon as I could, so I gave it to him. I'm not sure how he even knew it was here, I guess. Here, yes. James, I really appreciate if you didn't cover the text with your ginormous thumb. I don't think he was ever a guest here. I would have remembered. Alright. Strange book. Can't get it out of my head. Okay, I guess this might become important. Yep, let's put it away so we can look at it later. What else do we have? Books. Another suitcase. Blankets, I guess. Clothes. Well, I might be missing the obvious, but where's the tape? You know, I was expecting things to not be as simple. But where's the tape? Alright, so I cannot go this way. This would actually lead outside. Cafe Toluca. The storage room over there is blocked, indeed. No, wait a minute. If that is blocked... Ooh, interesting. So the door that was blocked in the lost and found room would lead to the room beyond the receptionist desk. Wonder how I will make it there. Anything inside there I could use? I really don't want to smash these gorgeous old pieces of furniture. Well, that is one fancy tissue box. Yep, it's closed. Now what is this? Wait, it was covered? Is this a puzzle? But how come it's not covered? We had to pull off the cover from each of these before. Move. I can't really move. We do have this ornamental key. Okay. And apparently we will have to put items here. Whatever those might be. I guess we have another puzzle on our hands. Not going that way, understood. What is this way? And there's a gift shop, apparently. Sorry, closed. Yeah. Elevator, out of service. Wonderful. Staircase leading up. Actually, I didn't check this side yet, so let's look around. First floor, information cafe, restaurant, gift shop. Second floor, nurse's office, reading room. Third floor, conference room. They even have their own nurse's office? Impressive. I haven't stayed in many hotels that I can remember. But let me tell you, Silent Hill 2 is a heck of a vacation if you ever need one. I highly recommend. What is this? Looks like a mini theater. Staff only. I don't know, it's a really narrow room. Which is apparently locked. And this is the restaurant? Intermezzo Op 118 number 2 by Johannes Brohm. We have found sheet music before, but I could never figure out what they are for. Maybe they have some kind of a hidden meaning, or there's a hidden puzzle. Ah!
Did I scare you?
Yeah, you did. I guess I deserved it, huh? The fart face that I am.
Maybe. Then again, maybe you're not so bad. Just annoying.
Uh-huh. So, you got any other things planned? I think I saw a dark room back there you could lock me up in.
No. I think you've had enough. For now.
Well, that's reassuring.
Besides, I need your help finding Mary. She's here. Isn't she? Come on, tell me.
I wish I knew.
But she said it in her letter.
Wait. So there really is a letter?
Oh. Yeah. Want to read it? Just don't tell Rachel, okay?
Who's Rachel?
She's our nurse. I took it from her locker.
My dearest Laura, I'm leaving this letter with Rachel to give to you after I'm gone. I'm far away now, in a quiet, beautiful place. Please forgive me for not saying goodbye before I left. Be well, Laura. Don't be too hard on the sisters. And Laura, about James. I know you hate him because you think he isn't nice to me, but please, give him a chance. It's true, he can be a little surly sometimes, and he doesn't laugh much. But underneath, he's a really sweet person. I love you, Laura. I love you like my very own daughter. I wish things were different. I wish we could be happy together, like we talked about. Even so, I know you will have a good life. You're a strong, smart, beautiful girl. Happy 8th birthday, Laura. Your friend, Mary.
Laura. How old are you?
I turned 8 last week.
Clever.
Does that mean Mary couldn't have died 3 years ago?
It sure does.
Could she really be here? Is this the quiet, beautiful place she was talking about?
Me and Mary talked a lot about Silent Hill. She even showed me all her pictures. She really wanted to come back. She also talked a lot about you, you know? She even...
What? What is it?
Well, it kind of was his other letter. I think the one was for you. The envelope had your name on it.
Did you read it?
I wanted to. This one time, I almost did. Figured you didn't deserve to have it. But then I thought, Mary wouldn't want me to keep it from you. So I just sort of kept it for you. Here.
What does that say?
It's empty. Laura, there's nothing in it.
What? But I didn't take it. I swear.
Well, where is it then?
I must have lost it. I gotta find it.
Laura!
Laura's letter. Once again, one cutscene and it brings up so many questions. I don't even know where to start, maybe at the beginning. So it's interesting. First of all, Laura had a change of heart about James, and I guess James, to a certain degree, learned to handle Laura better. Kind of making jokes about how she locked him in a room and tricked him and all that. And it really feels like they came to a sort of understanding. Now the letters, obviously there is the main contradiction of the dates, which the game pushes in the forefront, but there's more to these letters. First of all, I'm really curious about their handwriting, because this, in theory, was written by Mary. Even though I can't even really see that part of the letter. And we have this letter. What? You know, I looked at this letter when we discovered the body of Maria, and it had writing on it, and now it's gone. There's nothing written on the stationery. But the photo is still the same, I think. But the letter, the very letter that led us to Silent Hill is gone. But not the letter, just the writing on it. But indeed, based on the letter that was addressed to Laura, it seems that Mary treated Laura as almost her own child. Maybe she wanted to adopt her. There was a line about how she wishes that they could really live together like they talked about. And it's also interesting how she talked about James, how he can be not so friendly, someone who rarely smiles, but deep down he's a good person. But honestly, at first when Laura said that was what Mary said in the letter, that she would be here, I thought about the original letter that we used to have. And right away I wanted to ask, well, where does Laura know about that? I'm not sure if James ever mentioned that he is here because of a letter. But then James responds by asking, was there really a letter? And then I realized Laura is talking about the letter that Mary wrote to her. The one that she said would be in that hospital room in which she trapped and locked James. And apparently, yes, it really existed, and that throws the entire timeline up into the air and makes things a whole lot more confusing. But more and more as I play, I get this feeling that Silent Hill, or at least this version of Silent Hill, is a strange representation of the afterlife or purgatory or something like that. And James is here suffering from some sort of an amnesia, and he is damned to fight through all these creatures and slowly regain his memories by interacting with these other people and learning about what really happened and realizing what he has done and why he is here to begin with. It feels more and more like that. And I remember at least one movie that had a similar idea, possibly more. But it's really interesting because this game manages to present everything in such a fragmented fashion and style that it's really difficult to figure out just what is really happening. What is even real? But one thing that surprised me, even though I am happy about it, is a sort of character growth when it comes to James. Because previously, when he met with Laura, he was rather impatient. He yelled at her, treated her as a kid. And now he gives her a chance and considers what she's saying. Much like how Mary told Laura to give James a chance. And, well, they had a rocky start. But even after reading the first letter and learning about the second, he didn't yell at Laura for keeping it from him. Not even when it turned out that the envelope was empty. He didn't accuse her of stealing the letter or pranking him with it. Even though I think that is where his train of thought would have gotten him. But before that could really happen, Laura ran off to find the letter because she believes that she lost it. And James, instead of somewhat selfishly blaming her for possibly losing the letter, he just calls her name. And maybe that's the voice acting and not necessarily the writing, because with one word it's really difficult to convey any emotions. But it sounded to me more like he was concerned about Laura's safety and not upset with her. He's obviously a bit upset because the letter is missing, but still he chose not to argue with her and yell at her and do all that he has done and would have done before. So that's a really nice bit of character development, because with Eddie, James always tried to just kind of keep his distance, because he always looked at Eddie like a weird person, and whenever he would act a bit more unhinged, he would try to calm Eddie. With Angela, most of the times I would say James is confused about what she went through and how to really communicate with her. In those conversations, he always looked at the situation from his point of view, which makes sense, but it created a disconnect between the two of them. But here, perhaps because Laura knew Mary, maybe because Maria cared about Laura, now James also tries to make amends with her and make sure that she's safe, which is kind of the second half of the game. Because as I recounted in the beginning, ever since we reached the park with Maria, which she thought was their special place, even though it might be this hotel then, and we heard Laura scream, we were trying to catch up to her and make sure that she's safe. That's what led us through the movie theater to the hospital, and then out of the hospital and through all the locations and things that I talked about in the beginning. So it's really interesting. And in the letter, let me actually pull it up, because the wording was interesting. In this letter, it says, "I'm leaving this letter with Rachel to give you after I'm gone. No little details." I could dwell on each one of these words, but let's focus on two. One, Rachel. When Laura mentioned Rachel, that was really nice. That let her be seen as a child. Just for a moment, we got a glimpse of that childish innocence, that she knew that she did something wrong. She took the letter from Rachel's locker, and she doesn't want to get into trouble, so she asks James not to tell Rachel, even though we have no clue who Rachel is, and James even asked that. But no, I wonder if in the hospital we could actually find anything about Rachel, maybe a note or something, just a mention of her. One idea that springs to mind when we were looking for the 3 crucial patients, and one turned out to be a little girl that I still suspect to be Laura. There was a diary that was written by a nurse. It was in a little separate room in the hospital room of Laura, I think, or of that crucial patient. I don't think that mentioned the name of the nurse, but it could have been Rachel. I don't know, but I'm just theorizing here. But that would be an interesting way to intertwine things. The other thing is how Mary says, "After I'm gone." Now, it can be taken in 2 ways. One is that she's discharged from the hospital, and I think that is how Laura says it. But it could also mean that Mary was preparing for her end, because she knew that she's gravely ill. We heard from James that Mary was suffering from some unknown illness, and it could be that Mary wrote this letter to Laura as a farewell, and asked Rachel to give it to her once she is no longer with them in the hospital and in the world. And the entire writing here, I'm far away now in a quiet, beautiful place. It could be this hotel, it could be the afterlife. It's not really obvious. And to me, it seems like an adult's writing who cleverly worded the message in a way that a child can take it literally. And then maybe once she grows up, if she reads the letter again and learns about what happened, she can understand what those words really meant. And I think that is really nice, how she made sure to say happy birthday to her and encourage her that she's a smart, strong, beautiful girl, even though she knew that she herself is running out of time. And she even apologized. "Please forgive me for not saying goodbye before I left," which again has multiple meanings, what it means to leave. But again, it's written in a way that it can be understood as leaving the hospital or leaving overall. But it certainly confirms that she gave up on the idea that they could be happy together, because she knows that is impossible. And that is deeply saddening. If you understand in what part of Mary's life she wrote this letter. I think Laura doesn't fully understand that. She probably doesn't know the extent of Mary's illness, and she thinks that she was cured, and that is why she left the hospital, which I guess was an attempt of Mary or the hospital to not traumatize Laura, since she seemed to have formed a strong friendship with Mary. But indeed, it's a really interesting dynamic that the developers introduced here, and how James went from thinking about Laura as pretty much a nuisance, a troubled child, to someone that he wants to protect to a degree and care for. Now let's see what we can do. There should be a piano somewhere here that was Laura's tool for scaring us. Here it is. This is the same song that James associates with Mary, that we heard play throughout the game at different times. And every time you interact with the piano, the next sound plays. Beautiful idea. Honestly, I came here to try if I can interact with the piano and maybe play that sheet music that we found. But apparently we found a sort of Easter egg. And unfortunately no trophy, even though I was secretly hoping for one. Well, let's see. We have this, we have our empty letter now, and we should find Laura. But first, a nice little detail, the drawing that Laura made during the cutscene. which is really interesting because throughout the game, as we follow Laura, we see her drawing the rabbit and the wolf, or dog in this case it seems. And in the beginning, it appears that the wolf is chasing the rabbit and that the wolf is dangerous and wants to harm the rabbit. And I deduced before, or at least theorized, that the wolf is James and the rabbit is Laura. But here, it seems that they finally met and became friends of sorts, which is a really, really nice way of showing what Laura thinks and how she feels like through her drawings. That's a really, really sweet idea. And apparently James is smiling here too, as the dog or the wolf looking at the rabbit. And it's all drawn in the dew on the window, or the fogged up window. That is quite nice for sure. But we can't do much with it, and the door itself is locked. So I guess we're going back. I think I already checked this place.
Laura.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Oh, where did that come from? I mean the voice. Laura, I really do not mind exploring the entire building with you. I was planning on exploring it anyways, but could you tell me where you are? Well, that's about the quiet, quaint hotel. Okay, that's just your average puker. That is not your average puker, that's the dangerous one. Oh, you! So dark here. I was right here, really? Okay. Well, you stay there. I get my bullets. That's the one thing that I'm not out of. Luckily. But where the heck am I? Oh, wait a moment. The note left at the reception said that they moved the tape to a safe in the employee section, right? So that's why it wasn't in the lost and found. I see. Well, I guess first we have to explore this part and then we'll... what's that? Oh, no smoking. Oh! Hey, I dodged. Just for the record. I might be out of healing items, but I will not back off from a good fight. I kind of got lucky with that last shot. I wasn't even holding down the trigger, but as I already figured out in this game, if you fire multiple shots by holding down the trigger, it can register as an extra shot even after you let go of said trigger. It adds a sort of delay to the game, which is interesting. And the whole funny it is that while I was coming after this puking creature, I just thought, wait, there could be more mannequins around, and guess what? There were. Well, good news. We made it around. Not that we need anything else to explore out there, I think, but hey, that's nice. Maybe a photo somewhere? Hmm? Now where the heck I am. Okay, seems to be safe. Oh, key. Sunrise wing key. Well, I will be honest, I have absolutely no clue where this will go. Also, I am starting to gather quite a nice collection of keys, but hey, I'm sure we will use them all for a reason or another. And all of a sudden these plants don't look so lively. What are those? Oh, they have even little holders for shovels. This really is a pristine place. What? Hedera helix seems to have some kind of pest. Oh, I guess that is a plant. Separate from the rest of the plants or they'll all die. Well, that wouldn't be good, except I have no clue which plant that is. So I guess we will have to figure that out. Oh, they even have a phone and all. Okay, what about the door on... Wait, there isn't a door on this side? I know there has to be an exit from here, because it is on the garden map. Let me try to dig it up. There, you see, that area we can get to from the building, and apparently we need to find 107 to do that. Whoa! Okay, I did not see you. Also, I'm starting to understand that if I dodge right away and then try to dodge again, that only ends with me getting kicked in the face. Well, there goes my health drink. I'm sorry I wasted all of them on Eddie's, so if you'd be ever so nice not to hit me again, I'd be thrilled. Please clean up the room. Alright. Cleaning service. Open up. Well, we have 102, 312, and a rotten apple. Nah. Okay. So we are not getting there just yet. But I just got an idea looking at the plants inside. Did anything change outside here? No, the plants still look to be fine. I see. Well, I will have to be super careful here. Okay. Nothing attacking me. This is the second time in the game when I am going around without pretty much any health. And it is nerve-wracking. Toilet check. Where's the toilet? I mean, there's a bathtub. Ah, how nice. I got tricked again. Book. Clock. Ooh, fancy. I mean, useful, but not necessarily what I need right now. Is this the same? Yes, it is the same room. Why would they need two double doors? Well, let's see if there's a mannequin hiding behind any of these. Or something bigger. Oh, this one has a toilet. This is a premium room, apparently. Wait. I have a feeling that this was closed before. Don't you love unlocking shortcuts when you don't even know that the place was logged before? Okay, I'm not climbing in there. Not yet. Oh yeah. Health drink. This place kind of reminds me of an area in Resident Evil 7, to be honest. Alright, let's try to not break the intended route of the game completely. Sorry, I have more bullets than health. Also, didn't I already kill this enemy? Apparently no. I guess they tried to surprise me and they were expecting me to come from there. Well, it seems my nonsensical approach to exploring surprised them. Okay, I'm not getting in there. I'm getting in here. Lovely. Anyone trying to attack me? No? Yeah, I couldn't get in here. Oh, come on, why would you put the TV there? You can see it from the bed. Empty. A bottle in the bed? Oh, a photo! Aftermath. What are those? Glass pieces? 21. Pillow in the corner. Oh, someone had a party. Quite a big party. I'm coming in. I am somewhat hoping for one of the four-legged creatures to be standing in one of the bathtubs when I enter a room. It would be somewhat comical, which I know wouldn't necessarily suit the game, but it would be an interesting surprise. Oh, interesting. So I could have reached this room from this side as well. Not just from here. Let's check this room, because I couldn't get in there, and apparently I will not get in through here either. Don't mind me, just squeezing through. Okay, we checked well, everything that we could. The utility room we checked, 107 is logged, 106 we checked, 105 is well, logged and unreachable, I think. 104 we checked, 103 we checked, let's see 102. Room service. Of course you were behind the door. Couldn't you have picked a smaller environment for this fight? Aho! Are you dead? Okay, you are. Sean Mitchell, in loving memory of Sean Mitchell. The family regret to inform you of his passing. The funeral service will be held at the St. Stella Church in South Vale, intersection of Nathan Ave and Neely Street at 11 a.m. Following the service, we will hold a small reception at Sean's family home. Nathan Avenue and Neely Street. We've been there. South Vale, as in Silent Hill. And it's Sean's family home. I don't know where that would be. Let's actually check that. Nathan Avenue and Neely Street. Nathan Avenue. Oh, Southvale. There's Neely Street. And we are looking for Nathan Avenue. There. It's really there, even though I'm unsure if we've ever been there. Maybe. Most of the streets are blocked around there. I don't know if we've ever got around there. The closest maybe was at the entrance of the Rosewater Park, but there is a building marked there to the right, to the east. Maybe you can really find a church there. Interesting detail for sure. Okay, we're not going there. I guess that is closed, so if you choose to check that door right away, you cannot flee into the bedroom from the kick coming from behind. Well, I do have the 102 key. That's a whole lot of health items. I don't like that. Okay. Teddy bear offering a health drink, thank you. Rifle rounds. Shotgun shells. And a closed bathroom. Well, honestly, this looks like an extra room that you don't need to explore, and much like previous such places, it gives you some useful items and resources. I honestly don't remember where I found the key of 102, but I guess it can be missed. And I guess that's a good time to reload our shotgun finally, because I mostly ran out of shotgun shells back in the boss fight. Well, we explored this entire area for mostly nothing as of now. What we really need to explore further here is to find the key of 107. Why is this important? Why am I being paranoid about pretty much every single thing in this game? But it seems like someone wiped off these windows to see what's outside. And given that it's a bit lower, maybe it was Laura, given that she is shorter than James. Yes, we are still looking for Laura, by the way. Just in a bit more methodical way. Well, we have many options. Sunrise Wing, rooms 201 and 210. Reading room. So this will be the Sunset Wing, 211, 217, Nurse's Office. So I'm assuming this will be logged. And this will require the key that I found. Ha ha! which mostly suggests that Laura cannot be here since, you know, she didn't have the key. Stalwart to the end. Why is that important? Don't know. Let's just pocket it for now. The one who soared. I see there are markings on the side, on the spine of the books, so I think that will be important. Revelations, a new understanding. Okay. And I can place books here. But isn't that another puzzle? Oh! Pride before the fall. Okay. I think I know what this puzzle wants from me, but first let's save. Because saving is good for our health. And what is also good for our health is figuring out what was lurking here. Oh, I love these noises. Okay, do we have anything here of importance? Not really. This leads to the hole, which was logged, but let's not unlock that just yet. Okay. Staff only. This is staff only as well. Both of them logged. Wonderful. Anything inside these? I see nothing. What the heck is that? How can this floor be so dark? Restroom, okay, we're not going there. No smoking, understood. I hope a smoking gun does not violate that rule. Silent Hill flower deliveries. Perfect flowers for perfect occasions. Our bestsellers: lilies, chrysanthemums. I will not try to read the rest, and more. Roses, orchids, violets, hyacinth, daffodils, carnations. I'm not good with flowers. 20% off for wedding bouquets. Call us 1207. Of course, the rest is illegible. Okay, so the restrooms are logged, and apparently there's a hidden room behind the bookshelf. Would you look at that? Well, unfortunately I can't really lock these doors, I think. Well, that's as good as it will get. So let's see our puzzle here. We have two spears in the middle. And we have 4 books. Stalwart to the end, The One Who Soared, Revelations, A New Understanding, and Pride Before the Fall. Alright, now we have this painting which shows, I think, a gladiator in a coliseum. No. In the middle we have the figure with 2 sticks, which I am assuming is represented by the 2 spears in the center of the bookshelves. Now we have an eagle and a lion on the left, and I think they will be represented by 2 specific books. Now the lion is on the top, the eagle is on the bottom, so the one who soared, as in flying, is the eagle. Now I'm not sure if that is an eagle on the side of the book, because you can't rotate them all the way around to really see. No, on the top we had the lion, and it would make sense if that is represented by the book Pride Before the Fall, since a group of lions is called a pride. And indeed it has a lion on the side, or on the spine of the book, it seems. Now the right side is a bit more tricky, because we have an ox on the top and possibly another man in the forefront on the bottom with some rather strange armor on their back. Almost looks like wings. Let's try to figure this out. Revelations, a new understanding, and stalwart to the end. The revelations could be a reference to the Bible, so that could be the angel. No, not there. Here. Oh, they actually changed place. Indeed, that is an angel, or it seems, on the spine of that book, and that leaves us with this one. Nothing happened. That's no good. Even though the animals are that way. However, here if you look at the 2 sticks, they are in a V shape. Here they are in an upside down V shape. So that could mean that this is either mirrored or upside down. But let's see if it's upside down. That would make some sense. Apparently not. I feel like the sticks are important. But those are not spears, they don't really look like spears to me. And they are definitely in a different shape than here. However, I cannot interact with that emblem in the middle. So this was my original idea. If we think about the spears, the tip of the spears facing upwards, then these 2 are mirrored. So they should be like this. Or not. Alright, am I missing something? I like how there are lamps on each side here. We don't have any other books that might be important here. this is how the painting is. Oh, those are spears lodged into that person. There is obviously a connection between this painting and this puzzle, and the two spears in the middle, they tell you the orientation. Okay, let's look at this. If we want to look at the painting in a way that the spears are pointing upwards, then we actually don't have to mirror it, we have to rotate it 180 degrees. Because if you look at this painting that way, then the two spears are actually pointing upwards. That way, the lion will not be the top left, but the bottom right. The eagle will not be the bottom left, but the top right. The ox will not be the top right, but the bottom left. And the angel will not be the bottom right, but the top left. I think. Let's test the theory. So normally, the lion is there, but because we turned the picture, the painting around, it's now here. And the eagle that is normally under the lion will be above it. The ox on the bottom and the angel on the top, just like how it should be if you rotate the painting. Clever. Even though it took a few tries, or more specifically, a few different ideas. Interesting picture. Ooh, that's a lot of files. Okay, scribbles. Anyone here? $217, photo number 3. But it's not one of those photos that I've been collecting. Photo number 2, with absolutely no indication which room this is. However, there's blood seeping through underneath the door. So I'm assuming there should be another photo somewhere here. Oh, that's the gate, photo number 1. I think that's the locked gate leading to that fish statue, because it even has the chain on it. Help? Help. Yeah, I think we will need a few more hints. So this is actually another room that was bricked in, and it even has its own window. So only this is supposed to be the secret room. A light bulb. A bloody light bulb. Honestly, it looks like an eye if you look it from far away. No, I don't have a replacement light bulb with me, I'm sorry. Even though I think I know where I will be able to find one. Well, I guess it's time to explore this floor. Well, half of it. If you make a move, I'm gonna shoot you. I warned you. Well, apparently, they were not alone. Oh, I'm checking the corners now. Oh, you. No, absolutely not. All the noise they make, they just fill your ears and you have no clue where they are coming from. It's like they are all around you. Rather unnerving. Nothing and nothing and more nothing. Ha! Penguin! Well, this part is safe. This is where we came from. 207. Locked. Okay. You're dead. Get back to being dead. Good. No, stay that way. There will be something inside here, I know for a fact. Oh yes, there is. Oh, great. I'll get back to you. Now this is where one of the painting should be. What the heck is going on? All right, let's see if maybe the room next door is any better. Yeah, much calmer. Thank you. Closed. Understood. Nothing in the bed. Hell drink in the nightstand. Boop on my nose. Wait, boop on my nose? You dare boop my nose. You're a brave one. Well, this will be fun. Let's check 202. It's closed. Is there a door here? I'm not sure. Is there? Yeah, I actually got it right. Do not disturb. Oh, sorry, I couldn't see it. 201. Oh, that's a modest room. Real modest. Stop that! Stop it! My nose is all itchy. Well, the bed is gone. And so is most of the furniture. Renovations, I guess. But they have a ceiling fan. Okay. Let's see what we have. Check that, check that. 202 is logged. Oh, interesting. 202 is actually a much bigger room. Actually, 2 rooms. We have 204, 206. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? There's a balcony. Meaning that if I can get to 208, maybe, just maybe, I can make it out onto the balcony and then get into 206 from there and surprise the creatures inside. Or, well, creature, I'm not sure if there are multiple, but they sure sound to be many in there. Anything else of interest? No. Okay. Let's see. Wow, I look rather weathered. That's for sure. Yeah, that's 207, but that's logged. Yes, I've already looked at that. And here's 208, which is logged. So we only have one choice. 206. Or maybe if I get lucky. It sure doesn't have that the walls here are so thin. Nothing here. I wonder how many things I missed just because I mostly looked downwards. No, there is no secret vent or anything that I could use. That's about my plan. Hello? Ah! Oh! Oh no 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 no! Oh! No surprise hugs. I love when I find these creatures just hiding, and there's a bit of time when they don't even move, and you have that realization of, oh, there's trouble. And the moment they start moving, you just switch to fighting mode. Oh, this is a single bedroom. And that's closed. Okay. And that's closed. And that leaves us with only one possible room to check. 206. Okay. First things first. Is there someone there? Ah! Oh, you! Where the frick were you? Stop dodging! Oh. Empty. Are you dead? I know there's another creature here, and possibly even more. Where are you? This is properly unnerving. Oh, I see. You're in there. Isn't that lovely? Every sound makes me worried that they finally decided to join this room. But I don't think I will be that lucky. Oh no, I will have to climb through there to get them. Oh, look at that! Swans! Well, no marionette or mannequin in the bathtub, even though I feel like this one actually came from the bathroom. Okay, it's time for the shotgun. Why do I always have to get into the most fucked up places? Oh no 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 no! Oh, this one was really happy to share. Overly happy to share. Okay. Look at you, you ruined the carpet. Okay, so this is 207, and this is why my radio was going crazy in front of the door of this room, even though I couldn't even get inside of it. And I think that's pretty much all there is to this floor. And apparently there's really isn't a next one. So, let's check the hole. James, thank you. Holy moly! I did see that was a mannequin, but I wasn't sure if it was the wind or something a bit more sinister opening that specific door. I think this is the back of the hotel. I think the fireplace we are looking for is on the 3rd floor, and even though we have the key to that specific room, or the room where we want to go, it seems getting to the 3rd floor won't be as easy. 202, well, thank you. I always wanted to go there. Actually, I did want to go there. Mannequins with high heels. Oh! Aho! That was a miss. No! You were obviously on home turf there. Hiding amongst your own. James, please explain to me what that was. Why do I think you're not dead? Oh, you are? Okay. Okay. Let's be a bit more careful, maybe. Oh, legs. And obviously, our radio does not emit any static while the enemies are hiding. Ha-ha! Not bad, but not good enough. If I learned one thing in this game is how to defeat one of these mannequins, and what can I say, I absolutely love the fight with them. Oh, is that what I think it is? It's a ripe apple. Oh, I was hoping for a rotten one, so the one I have wouldn't be alone, but I take it. Okay, are we done with the surprise? Ooh, such a mustache. Are we done with the surprise attacks or not yet? I think we are. Alright. Anything in the... Can I even break these? It has the animation for it, but it does not break the glass. Well, let's get some fresh air, I guess. Wow, they even have air conditioners and all. Excuse me? If you dare to puke me in the face, I'm gonna be upset. Of course it's closed. And this is where I came from. Goodness, the sounds do not make it more appealing. Okay, time for a shotgun. Now where the heck am I? Nope. I did not want to look at the apple. Nurse's office. You know, at least I just hope that I will get some health item in here. Oh, there's the nurse! Oh, no. I'm sorry, ma'am, but... Nope, absolutely not. Oh, you are so gorgeous when covered in blood. Oh, goodness. I have a feeling that there was a surprise increase in what's wrong with my internet today? I wonder. Rats? How are we doing? Back online? Wonderful. So, as I was saying, this is not a whole lot to go off of. MSS. That's all we have. Initials. Nothing? Nothing. I did all this for one health drink. But I only had one way to get in here, so it's not like I had a great big choice. Can I just open this? Thank you! greatly appreciate it. Alright. Now then, since we have... Which one of you got up again? Is it you? No, you're dead. Oh, it's one of the mannequins, isn't it? Playing hide and seek? Of course! Same bloody trick! Okay, you want a rematch? You get your rematch. Here you go. I hope you had fun. Until we meet again. So, as I was saying, we finally have the key to room 202. Is it something we need? I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. Alright. There's quite a few many interesting things here. Okay, I can select things. Let's read this. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the sweetest of them all? Peel away the shiny skin, see the rotting flesh within. I loved it. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the sweetest of them all? Peel away the shiny skin, see the rotting flesh within. That's the kind of poetry I enjoy personally. But I feel like it's not necessarily talking about humans. It's talking about the apples. And the one slight hint, I think, is the shiny skin. But it's really clever, given that many of the words have double meanings here. We have who's the sweetest. Sweetest as being actually sweet, as in taste, or being nice as a human being. Behaving in a kind manner. Peel away the shiny skin, the skin of a human or animal, or the fruit, the apple. See the rotting flesh within, the flesh of a fruit, or flesh as in the meat of a human. Or even an animal. Which is also really clever. I do like it. Now let's see what we have here before we try to do anything else. That's closed. Hopefully it will stay that way. Mirror shard. I'm sure that will be extremely useful. I hope. Okay, so it doesn't matter if I interact with this plate or this mirror. It always ends up showing me the same screen. Now, I guess if I select this one, or if I select that one, I can actually pick up the pieces and I guess piece together the mirror. There's also a missing one that I have in my inventory. Lovely. Oh, where will this go? Oh, wonderful, I can rotate them. Now, the one that I think will be easiest to find is the one on the bottom, because it has that sharp, narrow point. So let's try to find that. This is probably one of the edges. It's too big for this one, so here. This is probably the bottom part that I was looking for. This would fit here, I think, but I'm not convinced that it goes there. I need one with a straight edge. Well, there's a tiny piece missing there, but maybe that just broke off. Which could be the side. This one. Oh, this is ever so fun. And this goes here, and this goes... well, not there. There. And we have James. Actually, in the mirror. Okay, so... do we want the ripe apple or the rotten one? Well, it mentioned the rotten flesh. I'm honestly unsure. Because it said peel away the shiny skin. They both have shiny skin in a way. And the rotten flesh is within. Well, the ripe apple wouldn't have that, so I guess the rotten apple is the right one. And that you actually find outside, whereas this one you find inside the building. No, with this I feel like one is probably more difficult to find, and that is the way of the developers to trick the players into choosing the wrong one. But personally, I don't know which one I would say is more hidden. But it said rotting, so possibly this. Even the shiny skin is more fitting to this one, so let's go with the rotten one. Well, that's always reassuring when that happens. There wasn't a bed behind me. Well, there still isn't one. There's a bed. A table. On the table there's something. So this is the next room. Okay, I have to admit I'm somewhat confused. There's a little circular table with something atop it. And I can change the apple back. Yet another thing we will have to try to do differently in our replay or second playthrough. But I am not sure what that mirror is supposed to be showing us. So let's see what is on this side. More specifically, if the staircase is locked or not. James, if you'd be ever so nice and stop missing, I hope that hit. You know, you could say that this is cheating because I am using the enemy's obsession with this area and how they don't want to leave it. But anything for survival, right? Yes, this is the first aid. The nurse's office. Can I even break these? Oops. Yes, I can. Sometimes. Do not enter. Understood. Employee elevator. Logged with a key. And here we have our staircase, which actually goes up to the third floor. The first floor we already checked. And we have this entire area to check next. But not today, unfortunately, even though my internet has been playing tricks on me. The 4 hours have passed. So it is time to go back here and save. We certainly made good progress, at least I'd like to say. We got multiple trophies, I think. And more than that, we completed the story of one of the characters, Eddie. At least I think, because he's dead. But, well, that didn't stop Maria from returning, so who knows? We are finally getting some answers. Rather vague ones, but answers nonetheless. And we got 2 trophies. A human being, kill Eddie, and Glimmer of Hope, reach the Lakeview Hotel. And I am ever so happy that I did. And with that said, I will be back to this wonderful game next week. Hopefully. Getting even further and nearing the end of the game. I don't think that I will get all the way to its ending. That would be too nice. But we are at 87% overall. Hotel Otherworld 27%. Not sure why it's called Hotel Otherworld. Maybe when it was all calm, that was the normal hotel. We have 22 out of the 44 trophies, halfway there. 21 bronze, 1 silver. And indeed, it feels like we are nearing the end of the game. This place will be possibly the last one, or the penultimate location that we get to visit. And I am curious how the rest of the tale will be told and what insane twists await us. And who knows, maybe my prediction that Laura will survive will become confirmed. But we made sure that Ellie did not, and it seems that Angela won't either. However, that means James will die too, and that's kind of unfortunate for the player, because, well, he is the playable character. But who knows, maybe we will get an interesting ending, even though I mainly just chose the obvious things to do, so I'm not really expecting to get a really specific or hidden ending. But with these puzzles, I have to say I had fun putting together the mirror pieces. One was lovely, and the bookshelf one was interesting. Even though it only uses 4 movable pieces, I like how you can approach the same puzzle with different ideas and see what works. Much like how I explained it with the safe puzzle in one of the apartments. Here you can look at it and think, oh, maybe it's upside down, maybe it's mirrored, maybe it's rotated, and you kind of find your way to the solution. And it really doesn't bother me as much that I don't get it right instantly, because it's a process and it's fun to try out different things. And I will certainly try to choose the other apple in my next playthrough. But I am intrigued by that mirror. I'm not sure what it shows. I feel like we might find a room with that layout, with a little circular table and something atop that, and that will be an important item. But until next time, we'll have to wait and dwell on our theories for the time being. So thank you so much for joining me today on this Friday stream. I will be rating the wonderful Fenton Ferox, who is playing Mina the Hollower. And that game, as much as it seems like a modern, retro style adventure pixel game, it is of interest to me because of my kin, since its main character is a lovable mouse, or at least I think. So please say hello to Fenton and check out as he plays Mina the Hollower. I certainly will. I'm curious what the game is like. I haven't seen much of it, and it just recently released. But until next time, I thank you for joining me and accompanying me on this adventure in Silent Hill 2 Remake. I will be back next week with the next episode of Silent Hill 2 and the next and final episode of my third playthrough of Killer Frequency, where we attempt to murder everyone. Until that, thank you for tuning in. Have a great evening, and as always, good night.